From Royal Communications Incorporated, good evening and welcome to King's News Broom 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa, and our own world. Today is Monday, June 9, 2025, and I'm Shemo Dia presenting. In the headlines, after spending 3 nights behind bars, Moravia City Court sets free former House Speaker Councillor Fonati Kofa Abu Kamara, Vixen Tito, Jacob Debbie from Moravia Central Prison on US 440,000 bond as preliminary examinations begins this Tuesday. Family of ex-President Dole and residents of Grand Julia County deeply divided over former President George Weah condolences gift following Veronica Dole continued rejection of attempts given by Weah. And also in the news tonight, authorities of Liberia National Police announced internal investigation of viral Facebook video portraying officers of the Liberia National Police recent arrest and inhumane treatment of CDC acting National Chairman Jankaku. Away from home, dozens of activists have staged a protest outside a mortuary in Kenya's capital Nairobi following the death of a 31-year-old man in police custody. This was the news bulletin. Voices of those making the news are all packaged. We'll take a short break to be right back. Welcome back. At this juncture, we join Stephen Contum with the news bulletin.
Monrovia City Court has granted the release of Representative Abu Kamara, Dixon Sibu, Jacob Debbie, and Fonati Kofa. The four lawmakers were incarcerated at the Monrovia Central Prison on Saturday by the judge Ben Bycode following their appearance at the court. They were released after rescuing property bond value at 440,000 United States dollars. Monserrado County District 15 Representative Abu Kamara, Monserrado County District 16 Representative, and Grand Jida County District 3 Representative. The charges stem from the December 18, 2024 fire that engulfed the Capitol building's joint chamber in what authorities suspect was an arson attack. The Monrovia City Court, while granting the bond, imposed strict conditions including travel restriction and mandatory court appearances. Legal teams representing the lawmakers headed by Jennington Massacre denied the allegation, branding the case politically motivated, vying a Fry's defense. In a related development, Monserrado County District 5 Representative Priscilla Cooper has been included on the bond secured by Councillor Fonati Kofa and his co-accused. Meanwhile, Magistrate Ben Baiko has scheduled preliminary examination to commence on Tuesday, June 10, 2025. Prior to the Monrovia City Court release of Representative Fonati Kofa and others, former President George Weah and ANC political leader Alexander Cummings, in a political turn of events, were seen at the Temple of Justice early morning in an effort to show solidarity and seek the detained lawmakers' release. On Friday, 4 lawmakers from opposition community were charged and detained at the Monrovia Central Prison, commonly known as South Beach, for crime of arson attack, criminal mischief, criminal conspiracy, and criminal facilitation, among others. Speaking with reporters briefly during their appearance at the ground of the Temple of Justice, former President Weah said the 4 lawmakers' incarceration is a political wish hunt. The former Liberian leader stressed his commitment to upholding the rule of law, adding that while their detention raised concerns, it is imperative that the judiciary process take its course without political influence. He expressed a trust in the integrity of the legal system, ensuring justice is served. For his part, a Fraternity National Congress political leader Alexander Cummings called for a transparent judicial process. According to ANC political leader, the opposition community remains committed in advocating for justice and accountability regardless of political affiliation. He called for a thorough and impartial judicial prosecution into the case. At the same time, former House Speaker Councillor Fonate Kofa says he is prepared to challenge the allegation leveled against him and four other lawmakers by the government of Liberia in connection with the December 18, 2024 fire incident at the Capitol building. Speaking with reporters at the headquarters of the CDC following his release from the Monrovia Central Prison Monday, Kofa described the charges as politically motivated, adding that they would defend themselves in court through appropriate legal channels. On Friday, Jones says the former speaker and four other representatives were formally charged by the Liberia National Police with arson, criminal conspiracy, and attempt to commit murder, among other offenses, following the conclusion of the police investigation into the Capitol building incident. Representative Kofa Abu Kamara, Dixon Sibo, and Jacob Dabi, who are from opposition CDC and Lenum, detention and incarceration prompted significant public outcries, amending termed the government move as a form of selective justice and intimidation of opposition lawmakers. They kept at least three behind bars before their release on Monday. The Grand Crew the Grand Crew District 2 lawmaker expressed deep disappointment over the manner in which he and his colleagues were treated by the government, reaffirming his unwavering commitment to upholding the rule of law. In a related development, the national chairman of the National Patriotic Party, Josh Moba, has stressed the need for impartial investigation into trial of former House Speaker Funati Kofa and four lawmakers in connection to the December 18, 2024 fire incident. He said the burning of the Democratic seat and scares held of the country sends a bad image of the nation, emphasizing the need for expeditious trial and the perpetrator to be brought to justice to face the full weight of the law. The NPP chairman further noted that all criminal cases start with the police, and the police need to do due diligence in helping the court with pieces of evidence for speeded investigation. Anthony Moba made the statement over the weekend in an interview with Front Page Africa in Banka, Bon County. Still with more developments, the debate surrounding the condolence gift from former President Joshua to the family of the late former First Lady Nancy Doe has resurfaced following an unprecedented second rejection by the daughter Veronica Mami Doe. The gift initially presented to assist with funeral arrangements were returned, this time not to family compound but directly to the national headquarters of the Coalition for Democratic Change. What began as a traditional gesture of sympathy has now snowed into a national controversy, sparking widespread debate about the cultural ethic, political overtone, and the sincerity of public condolence practices in Liberia. Former President Weah visited the Dole family over the weekend to extend his sympathies following the passing of Liberia's First Lady Nancy Doe, widow of the late former President Samuel K. Doe. In a customary show of respect, former President Weah offered 5,000 United States dollars, 25 kg bag of rice, and 2 cows to aid with funeral preparation. However, day after the presentation, Mami Doe, daughter of Nancy Doe, returned a condolence package to the headquarters of the opposition CDC, asserting that the gesture was not welcome, adding that the mother's legacy and dignity cannot be entangled in political gesture that lacks integrity and sincerity. The act stunned many observers and the national conversation about the limits and motivation of political engagement during mourning periods. Following the public rejection, Ambassador Ase Yambo, uncle of Mami Doe and senior member of the Doe family, addressed the media to clarify the family's position, adding that Mami Doe action was wrong. He admitted that the return of the gift stemmed from unresolved internal disagreement within the family and not necessarily a unilateral decision. The Liberia National Police has announced internal investigation into the circumstances surrounding the recent arrest of Janka Cole, acting national chairman of the Congress for Democratic Change, following public backlash over the manner in which the arrests were carried out. In a statement released Monday, the Liberia National Police acknowledged growing public concern after the video footage of the incident surfaced online. According to the statement, while the police maintained that Cole's apprehension were based on parable case, it confirmed that he was released immediately upon arrival at the Liberia National Police headquarters. The statement maintained that the arrest was lawful, however, noting that the mental used during the process has spark public interest. In furtherance, the statement mentioned that Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman has directed the Professional Standard Division to conduct a comprehensive review of the video evidence and all other related detail, indicating that the investigation will especially assess the use of force during the incident. A group of disenchanted Unity Party supporters in Bond County are calling for the immediate dismissal of the county's superintendent Howard Norris. During a tense protest at the Bond County Administrative Building Monday, the group accused Mana Norris of marginalizing loyal party supporters by appointing opposition figures to key positions in the county's administration. The protester termed Superintendent Norris' action as a betrayal of grassroots campaigners who played a critical role in securing the Unity Party's victory in the 2023 general elections. They describe her action as a gross neglect of their sacrifices and loyalty through the Unity Party. The group, at the same time, accused Superintendent Norris of corruption, alleging that she has diverted county development funds for self-aggrandizement. The People's Supreme Multi-Purpose Group of company over the weekend opened its shopping center in Monrovia. Speaking at the grand opening, the chief executive officer and founder of the organization, Moses Chaid, said that PSMPSC is a grassroots business indicated to developing and inspiring high-impact business infrastructure across Liberia. He said the celebration of the historic business complex indicates the realization of a dream that embodies collective Liberian ambitions of redefining the Liberian economy through genius collaboration, sustained partnership, and progressive business development. He emphasized that PSMPSC is a center for strong business development, access to multi opportunities across cultural sharing, innovation that drive sustainable business growth with visible long-term impact. He made a statement over the weekend in Central Monrovia. And the people of Southtown, according on the international community, including the United States, European Union, African Union, and Economic Community of West African States to closely monitor the situation and urge the Liberian government to cease any political prosecution of opposition leaders. In a press statement issued Monday, the group expressed concern over the recent arrest and detention of Funati Kofa and other lawmakers. The group, at the same time, appealed to all national stakeholders, civil society organizations, and the Liberian Council of Churches, the Muslim Council of Churches, that the Muslim Council of Liberia, and opposition political parties to respond to what it described as deteriorating political climate. The people of Sastan also urged the Grand Crew County Legislative Caucus to stand in solidarity with Representative Kofa by ensuring their continuing peaceful advocacy and respect for legal process. The news bulletin is back to you, Sherman Deer.
Stephen, content with the news bulletin. The news bulletin is a regular feature on King's News Broom. A reminder you're listening to King's News Broom 45 minutes news about Liberia, Africa, and our one world. Stories are following tonight after spending 3 nights behind bars. Morovia City Coast sets free. Former House Speaker Councillor Fonati Kofa, Abu Kamara, Vixen Sibo, and Jacob Debbie from Morovia Central Prison on US 440,000 bond as preliminary examination begin this Tuesday. Family of ex-President Doe and residents of Grand Jide County deeply divided over former President George Weah condolences gift following Veronica Doe continued rejection of attempts given by Weah. Authorities of Liberia National Police announced internal investigation of Vera Facebook video portraying officers of the Liberia National Police recent arrest and inhumane treatment of CDC acting national chairman Jankako. Away from home, dozens of activists have staged a protest outside a mortuary in Kenya's capital Nairobi following the death of a 31-year-old man in police custody. Take a break to be back with voices of the newsmakers. Welcome back and thanks for being there. Prior to the Morovia City Court release of Representative Fonante Kofa and others, former President George Weah and ANC political leader Alexander Cummings in a political turn-off event was seen at the Temple of Justice early Monday in an effort to show solidarity and seek the detained lawmakers' release. Speaking with reporters briefly during the appearance at the ground of the Temple of Justice, former President George Weah said the four lawmakers' incarceration is a political witch hunt. The former Liberian leader stressed his commitment to upholding the rule of law, adding that while the detention raised concerns, it is imperative that the judicial process take its course without political influence. We'll bring you the excerpt in our subsequent newscast. At the same time, former House Speaker Councillor Fonanti Kofa says he is prepared to challenge allegations leveled against him and four other lawmakers by the government of Liberia in connection with the December 18, 2024 fire incident at the Capitol building. Speaking to reporters at the headquarters of the CDC following his release from the Morovia Central Prison, Kofa described the charges as politically motivated, adding that they will defend themselves in court through appropriate legal channels.
That should not be, we have to go to it. So we have begun a process that should not be, we have to go to it. So this is our first step in the journey to vindicate ourselves, and we So did you hear the press conference of Gregory Coleman, the IG? He did say that this is a highly political case. Did he not? So you don't take the partisans' word for it, you take the IG's word for it. He decided to bring this case based on a basket of evidence of innuendos, lies, and misstatements. And in the next few weeks, as we go through the preliminary hearing, we will deconstruct those lies and be able to put together a defense that is worthy. It's a place for human beings. Unfortunately, that's the best the state can offer for Liberian citizens. It's unfortunate, but they are no better than me. As long as you're in a political battle, it's a political win.
On Friday, June 6th, the former speaker and four other lawmakers were formally charged by the Liberia National Police with arson, criminal conspiracy, and attempted murder, and other offenses following the conclusion of the police investigation into the Capitol building incident. Representative Fonate Kofa, Abu Kamara Dexon Sibo, and Jacob Tebi, who are from opposition CDC in London, detention and incarceration prompted significant public outcries as many termed the government move as a form of selective justice and intimidation of opposition lawmakers. In a related development, the national chairman of the National Patriotic Party, George Morba, has stressed the need for impartial investigation into trial of former House Speaker and four lawmakers in connection to the December 18 fire incident. He said the burning of the Democratic seat and sacred heart of the country sends a bad image of the nation, emphasizing the need for an impartial trial and the perpetrators to be brought to justice to face the full weight of the law.
Well, thank you very much for coming. The National Patriotic Party intend to issue a very strong statement, formal statement on all of those issues. But let me firstly say that yes, we are keenly following what is happening in Monrovia. I left from Monrovia last Saturday. Now I'm going through a murder trial here at the non-judicial circuit court. So not being able to go to town frequently because it's a jury trial. Let even know that our first attack on the Capitol building is the most heinous crime in recent time that was committed against the state. The most heinous crime that was committed against the state, and everyone must take that into consideration. And the government has a responsibility to ensure that all those connected with such actions, directly or indirectly, or by means of conspiring, to bring everyone to justice. And we believe from the National Patriotic Party that the onus is on the government to ensure that those who bear the greater responsibility of burning the sacred chamber or the political theater of the country, or the democratic theater of the country, those people must be made to account for their actions. I do know that on a criminal prosecution, government will not follow you, would not follow because they want to recover, but to punish you to serve as a deterrent. So, having said that, uh, our our justice system in this country, our criminal justice system, starts with the police. So, by the police inviting members of the legislature who the police feel strongly that they may have evidence of the involvement, it's the beginning of the justice system.
Chairman of the National Patriotic Party, George Moba, they're speaking in an interview with Front Page Africa in Bon County. The debate surrounding the condolence gift from former President George Weah to the family of the late former First Lady, Nessie Doe, has resurfaced following an unprecedented second rejection by her daughter Veronica Mamido. The gifts initially presented to assist with funeral arrangements were returned this time not to the family compound but directly to the national headquarters of the Coalition for Democratic Change. In a customary show of respect, former President Weah offered 5,000 United States dollars, 50 25 kg bags of rice, and 2 cows to aid with the funeral preparations. However, after the presentation, Mami Doe, daughter of the late First Lady, returned the condolence package to CDC headquarters, asserting the gesture was not welcome, adding that her mother's legacy and dignity cannot be entangled in political gesture that lacks sincerity.
Was returned this morning. Okay, we rejected for several reasons. I felt it was offensive for my mother, her memory. My mother is not a liar, and we will not bury her as such. We will not bury her as such. It was simply that reasons. So yesterday it should have been handled. I spoke to the ambassador that I wasn't happy about it, and he said he was going to handle it. He was going to do it, and this morning he hadn't done it. So that's the reason I personally make sure that it was done. So I believe he went and got it in error. But I have the final say. This is my mother. I looked after her. I took care of her. Okay? And no one will disrespect her. It doesn't matter what anyone says. So I'm a child. I'm the leader here. Okay? No one was here when she was ill. No one has been here for her. So it's what I say. And I don't care what anyone else says. I've consulted my siblings. We're all on the same page. I returned it this morning because it should have been done yesterday. Because during the speech, there were certain things that was said that was unacceptable. And so I told him that I rejected the gift. And he said that he was going to handle it. But he didn't. So I handled it. So when he went to get the animal this morning, he did it without my consent. Okay? Everything needs to be outside. It's not supposed to be here. So those are the animals, and it needs to go. And I've completely rejected them. Okay? Yes.
Okay. All right.
Following the public rejection, Ambassador Isaac Yenembo, uncle of Mami Doe and senior member of the Doe family, addressed the media to clarify the family's position, adding that the action was wrong. He admitted the return of the gifts stemmed from unresolved internal disagreements within the family, not necessarily unanimous decision.
We have a given situation that there's no planning or it's on a resolution or that when leaders die, you have this but at the end of the day, we all come together to have the same burial of our because President Sanders don't come with them. So you know what leaders for. Yeah. But the resilience of those that have to because all of us are the same that is kind of our mother. Yeah, after the factor of something to share the five years there's no declining traditional man. Believe your father, believe your mother, your grandfather, believe your uncles, so the family has leaders, the family has elders, and one of these is stronger. Even if I were not informed, what is important is the resolution. But we are important is that that comes together. What is important is that things are here and so can the news. We will better.
Spending 3 nights behind bars, Morovia City Court sets free former House Speaker Councillor Fonati Kofa, Abu Kamara, Vixen Sibo, and Jacob Debbie from Morovia Central Prison on US 440,000 bond. As preliminary investigations Oil examinations begin this Tuesday. Family of ex-President Doe and residents of Grange and County Jubilee divided over former President George Weah condolences gift following Veronica Doe continued rejection of attempts given by Weah. Authorities of Liberia National Police announced investigation of viral Facebook video portraying officers of the Liberia National Police recent arrest and humiliated treatment of CDC Party National Chairman Janga. Away from home, dozens of activists have staged a protest outside a mortuary in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, following the death of a 21-year-old man in police custody. Great feedback, no voices. Welcome back and thanks for being there. A group of disenchanted Unity Party supporters in Broom County are calling for the immediate dismissal of the county superintendent, Howard Norris. During a tense protest at the Broom County Administrative Building Monday, the group accused Madam Norris of marginalizing loyal party supporters by appointing opposition figures to key positions in the county administration.
We, the youth wing of the ruling Unity Party UP and its allied political parties, the Liberty Party, the Movement for Democracy and Reconstruction in Biara, and the Rainbow Alliance, who made countless sacrifices during enduring migrant and even risked our lives to bring the Unity Party back to the presidency of Liberia during the 2023 legislative and presidential elections. Yes. Expressing our discontent and frustration with the leadership of Broom County Superintendent Madam Gloria Howard Norris. Through the tireless efforts of the rescue missionaries across Broom County, we campaign with determination, braving the toughest of conditions, enduring both backing, heat, and torrential rain. Our sacrifices were aimed at restoring the Unity Party to power. We hope that those of us who bore the brunt of these efforts and rewarded for our contribution. However, the reality we have faced is one of internal disrespect, exclusion, and marginalization, especially from the Madam Norris, who has consistently disregarded the very individuals who made her current position possible. Since her appointment as superintendent of Broom County, Madam Norris has demonstrated a clear pattern of hostility toward the very people who work tirelessly to bring this administration to power. We, the rescue missionaries, have been systematically rejected, humiliated, and even denied access to meet with her. Our efforts to engage with her and contribute to the development of our country have been met with contempt and disregard. Despite our patience and continuous support, it has become increasingly clear that Madam Norris harbors a deep-seated bias against the people who made her position possible. Rather than working to unite the country, she has worked to undermine and discredit the Unity Party and its allies. This divisive approach has gone on for far too long, and it is imperative that the President of the Republic of Liberia, His Excellency President Joseph Yuma Boaka, be made aware of her actions and take immediate action.
Supporters of ruling Unity Party in Brown County during a protest against the county superintendent Norris or Howard Norris. The People's Supreme multi-purpose group of companies over the weekend opened its shopping center in Monrovia. Speaking at the grand opening, the chief executive officer and founder of the organization, Moses Chien, said the PSC is a grassroots business dedicated to developing and inspiring high-impact business infrastructure across Liberia. He said the celebration of the historical business complex indicates the realization of a dream that embodies collective Liberian ambitions of redefining the Liberian economy through genuine collaborations.
I'm thrilled with great extraordinary excitement and joy that I stand before you today to mark the official opening of the People's Supreme Multi-Purpose Shopping Center, a grassroots business dedicated to developing and inspiring high-impact business infrastructure across Liberia. Today, we celebrate not just the launch of a strong historical business complex, but the realization of a dream that embodies our collective Liberian endeavors. But redefine the Liberian economic through genuine collaborations, sustaining partnership, and progressive business development. We all can be great if we work together as a Liberian, as a nation, across the audience. I see grassroots business owners, old friends, new friends, diverse entrepreneurs who have tried to develop Liberian business model and have early awaited this movement that witnessed a big commercial infrastructure development. Our business model has made strong people grow from Liberia Business Center with commitment to empowerment. Our vibe and dynamic customer. We are joyful for your loyal patronage. We strongly cherish the awesome support as we aspire to grow together, stronger and bigger. To our diverse customers, visitors, and supporters, we celebrate your consistency in the supply and demand marketing function.
The solidarity and trust for a new day has disturbed the arrest and detention of former House Speaker Fonati Kofa and three other lawmakers. Arrest as a witch hunt. Stern's National Chairman Moma Molo said the arrest of the lawmakers on Friday and detention is an indication that the Unity Party-led government is prepared to violate citizens' rights.
We believe the arrest and detention of lawmakers plus other Liberian nationals is a witch hunt compounded by government's inability to address the bread and butter issues affecting Liberians. And so they chose to create a distraction that keeps the public distracted from the seriousness of the challenges confronting their lives, and that everyone is now focused on the arrest of lawmakers in the burning of a part of the Capitol building. When we saw the director of police rounding up members of the legislature, having them arrested on Friday, which means it was premeditated that these lawmakers should be arrested, not only because there is an assumption of the commission of a crime, that because government officials or the presidency want to see them suffer. For else, why will you arrest members of the legislature on Friday if it is not to keep them in jail indefinitely up until Monday? So the fact that President Walker passed on the instruction to have these individuals arrested on Friday is indicative of the fact that they have been witch hunted, and the president is interested more in vengeance than in justice.
These are not people that are a flat risk. They are not wanted individuals on the run. They are available. So what provided the basis to have them arrested on Friday? To complicate their release on Saturday and Sunday.
Away from Liberia, dozens of activists have pledged a staged protest outside the mortuary in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, following the death of a 31-year-old man in police custody. Abod Omendi Owant's death has sparked outrage in Kenya. He was arrested following a complaint by the deputy police chief, who accused him of tarnishing his name on social media. In an initial statement, police said that Owang sustained head injuries after hitting his head against a cell wall while in custody. Well, on that note, that's how we come to a near end of this edition of King's Newsroom. But before we leave, a quick reminder of stories we followed in the headlines. After spending 3 nights behind bars, Morovia City Court set free former House Speaker Councilor Fonati Kofa, Abu Kamara, Dixon and Jacob Debbie from Morovia Central Prison on US 440,000 bond as preliminary examinations begin this Tuesday. Some of ex-presidents board and residents are going to their accountants to divide over former President George Weah condolences following the Minka though continued rejection of attacks given by we also heard in the news authorities of Liberia National Police announced a internal investigation of viral video on Facebook video portraying officers of the Liberia National Police recent arrest and inhumane treatment of CDC at the national chairman, Janga Kong. Away from home, dozens of activists have staged a protest outside the mortuary in Kenya's capital, Nairobi, following the death of a 31-year-old man in police custody. Thanks to our reporters, correspondents, and all those who helped making the submission of King's News resources. Stephen Compton brought to the news bulletin to enhance use other control and handle the technical aspect of this issue. On behalf of the team, I'm Shema Dale. I presented. Thanks for listening and watching.